Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Lee Horine with Ignite Chiropractic, and I'm here with Michaela, who's one of our team members here, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about bedwetting. So bedwetting is something that is afflicting a lot of kids, and many parents, they think that it's just kind of a normal thing. You don't really think a whole lot about it. It's just you got to clean the sheets, constantly buying pull-ups, or if they refuse that they're too big for pull-ups, then all of a sudden now you're having to change lots of underpants. And that's just a constant thing. So one, it's just the nuisance for the parents. But two, if a child doesn't need to be wetting the bed, and we're able to restore that, where they can now actually sleep all the way through the night and not have bedwetting episodes, it's a huge win for the kid as well, because there's a neurological imbalance that is usually leading itself to bedwetting. So I wanted to, we'll kind of get into a little bit of the nuts and bolts on how it works, like science-wise, but I wanted to first share that your kids, when you started working for us and you actually brought your kids in because you'd seen other people whose children were coming in, they were getting results with bedwetting. So can you share a little bit about what you saw with your kids and how it made an impact on them, because they had a pretty cool story.
Yeah, absolutely. So my son is 4, he'll be 5 in April. He's been potty trained since he was 3, but consistently every single night we've dealt with wetting the bed. He's always slept so hard that he doesn't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And since we've started him, I think it was 2 weeks in, we were having like consistent nights where he wasn't wetting the bed. And it's funny, Dr. Lee actually calls the adjustments for kids tickle thumps. And Liam woke up and he was like, "Mommy, those tickle thumps are working. I didn't wet the bed." And so he was recognizing that it was working. And in the last month and a half, he's had 1 accident, and it was actually just the other night. And he just got over a sickness, like he had the flu. So
I mean, that is just the coolest thing, because I mean, how old is he?
He's 4. He'll be 5 in April. Yeah.
Right, so he's definitely in that age range where you shouldn't be wetting the bed. I mean, you can read a lot of things different places where they say like, oh, it's okay if kids are wetting the bed up until 5. And again, the occasional time when they wet the bed is one thing, but it's different when it's like, okay, 3 and 4 or 5 every single night.
Right.
We recently had a kid who was coming in around 11 and 12 years old. And his whole life he'd been wetting the bed nonstop. In fact, like a dry night was rare. So kind of like where your kid, every once in a while now, it's like really once since he's been getting adjusted, he had an accident. This kid's 12 years old, and there's lots of kids out there like this, and they're wetting the bed every single day. Funny enough, with that, his mom was in a severe car accident when she was, this is years ago. Funny enough, her kid was 1 year old at that time, and he was in the car with her. It was okay. Everything turned out okay. The baby didn't sustain any injuries that they knew of. Mom did, baby didn't, but from that point forward, he never stopped wetting the bed. So there's a neurological impact here, because the brain and the autonomic nervous system controls how your bladder is being held. And so a lot of times they think like, oh, well, they're just really deep sleepers, and because they're such deep sleepers, they don't know when they need to go to the bathroom. But really, when you're healthy, you should be able to hold your bladder all night long. You shouldn't have to wake up to go to the bathroom no matter what, even as an adult. And so what we find is when people start getting adjusted and we can reconnect the brain to the body, you're literally reconnecting your autonomic nervous system to your bladder, so you're able to maintain bladder control all night long. So you not only don't have to wake up, but you're also able to sleep throughout the entire night. So you sleep throughout the whole night, and you're holding your bladder, and you don't have to get up even to go use the bathroom. So that makes a big difference in these kids' lives, and especially after the age of 5 years old, kids start to tease. Kids know the ones who are delayed in bedwetting, and so it really starts to build up, like psychologically, it will start to impact them with their peer groups. And those are things that people don't usually talk about, especially with bedwetting, because it is something that isn't really spoken much about, except for maybe from parents to parents. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot that people know that can be done. So we always encourage people, man, if your kid is bedwetting still, or your teenager, your preteen, it's an embarrassing topic, but get them in. Get them into the chiropractor. If you're in Rogers, come see us. We'll do an evaluation. We'll check it out. We'll see if there's anything that we can do. Usually there is. So we definitely encourage you to take that conscious step and putting this to bed, because it could be a big impact. So thank you for sharing your story and your kid's story. It's been helpful. I'm sure people are getting some good benefit out of it. But until next time, this is Dr. Lee with Ignite Chiropractic, here with Michaela.